Hello, Philadelphia! I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday to all across the Delaware Valley. This is the Anthony Gargano Show presented by TrueMark Financial Credit Union. TrueMark.com/PHLY for the credit union difference. All right. Ugly one last night for the Fightins. The bullpen. Mud on this bullpen. Oh, God. Yeah, it was not good. You come back, you take the lead, and, look, they're going to struggle to score. Like, that's a shame is they get some runs early, and against Colin Rea, like, you got to be able to take advantage of him. Oh, man, they're just frustrating. Right now, it's a frustration watch. Luzardo today, the Lizard, back on the mound. Let's hope he's back to himself and that he was just tipping some pitches and that he handles the Cubs. Today's a huge start, and it's a day game, and it's a huge start for him because you want to find out where he's at. And today we'll give you, you know what, 1 start, 2 starts, you can easily, excuse and go, is what it is, tipping pitches. You got left in there to kind of help the bullpen. So they were ugly stat lines. But today, the third start, you got to get out of it. Like today, he's got to pitch. I'm not saying he's got to be lights out. It's a good lineup, but he's got to handle it. Right? He's got to come in and I got to at least get a quality start out of him. I think that's I think that's what we're looking for today. So we got that, but we're 85 days away from football. 85 days until the start of the season against the Cowboys, which I can't wait for. Every day I wake up and I'm like, oh, we're that much closer. We're that much closer. It's terrible. I feel guilty all the time because I know this is, a theme of the show that is often. And, I look to my left and there's VG and he's like, stop wishing away the summer. Stop wishing away the summer. I can't help it. I honestly can't help it. They're so interesting. I think back, we were talking yesterday about, with Baldy, we did the 4-for-4 bust-out game between Brain and Mike Sealski. And then I brought up the players to Baldy and a lot of them were from the 80s and 90s, right? So there was a lot of talk about the Eagles' defense. And one of our great guys, a great Philadelphia sports fan, said in one of the comments, I know that we didn't win anything during that era, but the way that defense attacked, I haven't thoroughly enjoyed the Eagles since then. And I thought about that statement, and I was like, wow. He's a great sports guy, great Philadelphia sports guy, the whole thing. I thought about that statement, and I have to tell you, I've always enjoyed the different eras, right? So I love the Andy Reid era, even though it didn't amount to a championship. I love that era. I love those players. To this day, I look at Trot and Ike and that whole crew, John Runyon and B. West. And I look at those guys. I love those guys. I just do. Even Five. I have a soft spot for Five. I think back to those days. I loved it. And I enjoyed the buddy. I mean, that was my teenage years, right? So it's like, wow, like that was unbelievable. But I have to say, and I know we talk about eras all the time and compare and contrast, but this current state of the Eagles, I just find thoroughly enjoying. Like, it's not even close to me. Like, if we're going to rank the eras today, ERAS, I go today. Forget championship. And I know it's hard to divorce yourself from a Super Bowl. The winning is obviously a part of it. But each of the eras had a charm to it. I mean, go way back to when VG and I were little kids in Vermeil. Vermeil takes a team that was like an embarrassment, like a Browns type of team, like paper bags over your head type of thing. And he turns them into a playoff team. And they beat the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl. Like, that era had a lot of fun to it. And then, of course, the Buddy era was just like a blast, right? You had a coach that would say anything that was on his mind that was wild. Like, you couldn't even imagine. Like, we think about the times and what's permissible during each time period of the world. That what happened in the late 80s, early 90s could never happen today. Like, Buddy Ryan could not exist today. Like, all the histrionics. Like, could you imagine a feud with the Cowboys? As much as we love it, like, imagine there was a feud. Like, Buddy told his players, gave them money to go knock out their kicker. Like, how nuts is that? Like, here's a pool, right? And, that bounty thing was real, putting bounties on guys. That was done throughout the history of time in the NFL. And then you had him and the venerable Tom Landry, trading barbs. And then Jimmy Johnson comes in, legendary Jimmy Johnson. And he and Buddy are going at it. He's calling Buddy fat. And Buddy's ripping him and doing fake kneel downs. Just imagine for a second, in the middle of at the end of a game in 2025, Jalen Hurts doing a fake kneel down and throwing a Hail Mary down the field that results in a pass interference, and then they stick it up their nose by running in for a touchdown. Like, that would never in a million not happen now. That would never be in the script. Never. No matter what kind of bad blood was between two teams, that would never happen. Nor would you have a coach that would drive the bus around Chicago, blaring a horn, saying the Eagles have arrived to town. Like, that stuff was highly entertaining. It was, wrestling. It was wrestling meets football, right? Like, it was high entertainment. All that said, what we saw last year, and it started going to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and then it continues. And what we saw last year was the greatest season ever in Eagles history. The greatest ever. I don't think it's close. Obviously, they were the most dominant team on both sides of the ball. The big, long runs. Like, we love running backs in Philadelphia. We love the run game in Philadelphia. Well, we had the ultimate. You had a Hall of Fame running back, and he rattled off 8-9 home run runs. Like, home run runs. He rattled off at least 9. Probably more than that, if I go back to think about it. How nuts is that? Then you have a defense with a killer in the middle in Jalen Carter. Killer. And then you got two kids, right? You got Quinyon. And by the way, they rank corners. I saw this corner ranking, and he wasn't in the top 10. I don't even understand that. And then Cooper, who puts the hit of the season, the hit of the season on King Henry, who was having like a big-time year. It wasn't like King Henry at the end. He has a renaissance, and he's rumbling, and he's King Henry. He's Derrick Henry, wrecking ball. And there's Coop. Dig low, drive the legs, and plant. Oh, I could watch that over and over and over again. How is this not the greatest era? So when I say I can't wait for 85 days from the start of football, and I'm wishing my way through summer, which I've done for years and years and years, there's a little different meaning to it this year. It's not like I'm wishing to get to a season that you go, oh, maybe it'll be a contender. They're the best team in football. And I want more of what happened last year. That was spectacular. Good morning, Violations, Greg.
What's up, dude? Hot. Let's go, football. Let's go Labor Day. I can't wait. Don't even bring out no boogie boards allowed.
Blue 42, Blue 42.
Don't you bother buying sunblock. We're right to Labor Day, baby. Let's go. Kids are back in school. They're not even out of school yet. They're back in school.
Get your ass back in school.
Yeah. All right. Don't bother cleaning up the grills. No need. We're right back into it. All right. Get their smokers out. We're smoking some brisket. It's football season.
So,
yeah.
So I know you're joking around, and I get it. But what about the points of this being the most entertaining era of Eagles football? And I don't even think it's close. I gave you an M, one of our great viewers and great Philadelphia sports fans said about the Buddy era, and how there's been a tick, hasn't enjoyed as much since that era. You still wax nostalgically about that era. You love that era.
Yeah. Duh. Is this the greatest era of Eagles football? Yes.
I've said you get the Super Bowl side.
Is it the most entertaining?
Yes.
Nah. That's not even close for me.
Not even close.
Nah, because the Buddy era was like wrestling meets football. That was so entertaining. I know. It's so entertaining. That was... You sprinkle that on top of the good sports play. Yeah, that was way more entertaining.
But they didn't even win a playoff game.
It was entertaining. It was an entertaining loss. It was entertaining disappointment. You were entertained thoroughly all year. Even in spring training, he's taking shots at the owner, guy in France, number 86. It was just magical.
He just committed a violation. Let's see if you got the violation.
What?
The guy from France? Were you paying attention? You may not have been. You would have been.
I was checking with Brad.
Just checking Premier League scores.
Right.
Not playing. I was checking with Brad.
See what you said about it was highly entertaining.
Yeah.
Even during.
I say we?
No.
Even during the losses?
No, even during the early part of the season.
Oh, in training camp?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. You said spring training.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Training camp. Well, even training camp was exciting.
I liked it. There's a little.
That's a violation, man. You can't say that.
Obviously.
Spring training, that's baseball.
Well, I'm a baseball mind.
We're skipping baseball. We're going to
state
football.
Of mind right now.
Sorry, I know.
It's a baseball state of mind.
I like he sticks the knife in too. Yeah.
His knife's a rubber knife.
Yeah, it is a rubber knife. It's not even a plastic knife.
It's a stage knife that retracts.
Yeah, it's not even a plastic knife with the little teeth.
Nah, come on, dude. Busted on the owner, honking horns around Steve. What do we have entertainment-wise?
Oh, dude. This year was, what we saw on the field.
Beautiful.
Dude, it was
pristine.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah. They should have beat the Dolphins' perfect record.
The defense.
Yeah.
How the defense played. Oh, my God. And then we love the run game. And we saw all these home run runs.
I
come on.
I can't say this year's defense was hitting harder and more entertaining than those Buddy defenses.
Okay, well,
the offense definitely.
That was a top 5 all-time defense. I get it.
Yeah.
But this defense was pretty close.
This defense was really good.
In the Super Bowl, they were as dominant as the 85 Bears in that Super Bowl. As the 85 Bears beat the New England Patriots, the 2025 Super Bowl, the Eagles were as dominant in that game against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Agreed. But it's a different kind of dominant.
What do you mean? You see Mahomes wheeling, doing 360s and getting smashed.
Yeah, man, come on.
It felt more like a Sugar Ray Leonard beating than a Thomas Hitman Hearns beating.
Okay, that is. Can I just laud you for a second?
All right.
That's a spectacular analogy.
Oh yeah,
A
it
spectacular.
was just a beautiful,
You got
clean
Kriegel on
beating.
the brain.
Oh, yeah. I'm all about it.
That is spectacular analogy. You're right.
Sugar Ray's one of the greatest.
You're right. It was technical.
Yeah.
It was, dominance from a technical standpoint. The only thing I think it was,
And Buddy was
it
more
wasn't Sugar Ray. It was Sugar Ray like, but there were some pops.
we could
in
say
there.
like a B-hop.
There was some pops.
You
Sugar
know.
Ray was, I think.
Bernard's a technical guy with some pop, though.
Yeah.
But it's not like, but
There
Buddy
were-
was like Tyson,
Yes.
which was a little more
I'll
entertaining.
say Buddy was Tyson, and 2025 Ali, because Ali was a great fighter. Ali,
I'll give you
Ali
that.
was a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
technical
Yeah.
fighter, jack rope a dope, right?
Yeah, that
whole
works.
thing. But he could finish it.
Yep. That works.
Where Tyson was all theater,
Right, right.
right?
Which is it.
Lot of empty theater, but theater.
Yeah. Well, it was entertaining theater.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah. And we were empty at the end of those seasons. But man, they
this-
were fun.
It's funny you said that. I absolutely love this year. Like, if you're going to rank the season, the eras, right? There's 5 of them. Go Vermeil, Buddy, Andy, Doug, and today.
All right. I go just
One,
errors.
2, 3,
just
4, 5.
Fun errors.
And not about greatness, because the obvious
Yeah.
is today.
I go.
But like what you've enjoyed. Like, put your own enjoyment in there. Listen, the Doug's going to get votes because Doug was the first Super Bowl. And people love Doug.
Buddy 1.
Buddy 1.
Today 2.
Today 2.
Doug 3.
Okay.
Vermeil 4. Andy 5. Andy's tarnished with the 5. The 5 years weren't the most fun.
They were good,
They were
dude.
good.
They were
I'm
fine.
not saying they
I
stunk.
loved it. Jacksonville. Come on.
Andy was a frustrating
Right on
coach.
the precipice of being
Donovan
like a
was
They owned the
frustrating. Andy
Cowboys.
was frustrating.
Come on,
That's a
Holmes.
good era, man. The Andy era is a good era.
How would you
No,
rank
that's-
it, Frage?
Well, I didn't really grow up too much in Buddy and Vermeil.
I know, but like try to look at it like as a historian, football, not
This is definitely the best right now.
okay.
This is like golden age. I would probably say Doug 2,
Okay.
just because you get that one, and that season alone was just electric. I go Andy 3. I'd probably go Buddy 4, and then Vermeil 5.
Okay. All right. I would go today 1, Buddy 2, Andy 3, Doug 4, Vermeil 5.
Wow, I thought you'd go Doug last. I'm proud of you. I thought you would crush Doug.
Yeah, you know what? Nah. I like Doug. I mean, he's a friend. I like the guy, but I think there was a high degree of luck during that whole thing. But the
Sure.
drama of it was great drama. I mean, the fact, like St. Nick, that St. Nick alone puts you over Vermeil.
Yeah, I would think so.
You
For
know?
me, yeah. And
The St. Nick, that story was one of the greatest stories ever.
how is it not? It should be a movie at this point.
Oh, I always thought
that
that.
should be a Disney movie
That
or
should be a
whatever.
movie.
Beating
Be a great movie.
Patriots,
Yeah.
Belichick. Come on, backup
The
quarterback.
biggest villain of all, and he goes in there.
You got,
know what
you got
the
Brady
problem-
tries to catch a ball and misses.
Here's a problem. The problem that we have with modern day football movies, cinema, is it's too hard to coordinate. When you have NFL films that makes it look theatrical, it's hard to tell the story in a fictitious way because you got to get actors to play football players, and that's tough.
Yeah.
We're not too far removed from just AI people playing football players in a film.
They just did that Kurt Warner one too, not too long ago, and I think that completely flopped.
Who
About
was
his
the
story.
who was the crazy Mongolian leader? Who was
Genghis
the-
Khan?
Yes. So they did that Genghis Khan video, that movie like 15, 20 years ago where they had
Yeah.
thousands of extras and orchestrate. Like a
Yeah.
director of
Yeah.
that can
Yeah.
make something happen. But it's a rare
Yeah.
talent that can make that
Yeah,
happen.
but my point is that you still need. It's tough, dude. you got to recreate something that is by itself theatrical, right? On its own. And that everybody's seen. I don't know that. Here's the other problem. You have this story. You have the Eagles story. Who's going to go see it other than Eagles fans?
No one.
Yeah, it depends. If Bradley Cooper's,
Like
Foles.
No one.
Like if you had, like he brought up the Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner is a singular story about one person that makes it universal. I don't know that Nick is that. Like, you got a guy who was, working at the ShopRite.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
The everyday
You know what I
man.
Yeah.
It's just a
football.
great sports story. It's a great sports story.
All right.
Yo. Great sports story. So when I look at this, you go Buddy 1, Today 2. So you do have Today 2.
Yeah. Today's fun. Today, I love being the best of the best. Like, who doesn't want your city, your football team to be
it all,
like the best?
but like living through it. That's why, like, I know everybody got up in arms over the latest Chris Sims QB rankings. Like, honestly, and look, this happens every year because we struggle for conversation. So one dude becomes the poster child, the hater, this and that. Meanwhile, it's all meaningless because it's about how you fit. Jalen's fit is perfect here. You put him in anywhere else, you put him in Cincinnati, he's not going to. He wouldn't get the Bengals as far as Joe Burrow could get the Bengals. I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think that's obvious. It's also like he's a fit, but mentally he's okay with being that fit. Like it seems like it so far. It's worked. He doesn't complain.
Like,
he comes out and wins.
I don't.
So
I
think,
don't see the big deal. Like if you're playing well, and you're an MVP. Like who cares whether you throw for 350?
I gotta say, if Moss was a quarterback in the NFL and they were throwing the ball 13 times, I think you'd be like talking to the coach. Be like, my boy's got to throw it 20, 25 times. My boy's got an arm here. What are we doing here, coach? Even if he's winning, I think you're in the stands a little upset that Moss ain't throwing them, slinging it.
No. Is he winning?
He's winning.
Is he making plays?
And he's making bank.
And
he makes an occasional play.
And he makes a play with his feet.
Here and there, yeah.
He's a good athlete.
Yeah, here and there, but.
No, I'd be fine with it.
No one's ever. Chris Sims ain't around getting Moss in the top 10, and you're like, I know he's a top 10 guy. This is ridiculous.
I love how you put that little seedling.
I think you're making a call.
Yeah. Trying to jab.
Yeah, you're calling. No, you're not calling a coach. You're calling Big Dom. You're like, yo, Dom, let's get this guy. Let's get Moss throwing the ball a little bit here. What do we got to do to make this happen?
Of course, yo, Big Dom.
Yeah. What the heck's going on, man? Moss got an arm. Put it at the waist.
Oh, that's great. What do you think? I don't want. My biggest thing when we talk about sports is I love to live in the moment. Mm-hmm. Like I could be as I'm a historian when it comes to Philadelphia sports, so I could go back at any point you want, and I could find beauty in that. But there's no better place to be than in the now when you're talking about sports. And and the reason why I look at this era is they're so young, they're so entertaining. I mean, they buried teams, dude. Buried teams last year. Big runs.
I mean, not only do they bury them, like wasn't Nick on the sideline being like, "Let's bury them. Call this play. Let's bury them." Like they're thinking about burying. They
are. I mean, and look at the strides he made. Like he's an interesting guy. Mm-hmm. Nick's an interesting dude. Meltdown, freaking out, shave the hair. Travis Bickle.
Oh, I'm so curious to see how he handles the pressure of trying to repeat now, being champ. Yeah, I can't wait for this.
I don't know.
See how it goes.
I don't know how. I don't think there's a huge. You think the pressure is?
Oh yeah, they. Someone just reported he's already been talking to coaches who have repeated. They asked them how to do it, how to prepare for it. So yeah, he's pressure. He knows. Like he's in a different world now, and he's trying to figure it out. So yeah, I think the fact that he's asking for advice from coaches who have repeated, yeah.
Do you think there's more pressure for him to repeat one than there was when he went to one and lost and tried to get back?
No, I think the pressure Nick's gonna feel is that he doesn't want it to be a fluke like Doug. He doesn't want to be a fluke coach. He wants to be someone who can.
I agree with that. I agree with that. TCK Dom chimes in and says, he goes
Chip number 1
now.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
We forgot Chip.
I'd ride with Chip over Andy.
I got Chip out there too. Put those 6. I got the Chip 6. He goes now, then Andy, then Vermeil, then Doug, then Buddy. He goes Buddy last.
That's
Tasty Cake.
disappointing from Tasty Cake Dom. Come on, Dom.
He goes Buddy last.
Last?
Last.
What does he not like? He's got to call in. He's got to link up or call in. Yeah, what would he have Buddy last for?
Well, we'll have David Murphy on. I want to ask Murph about it. We'll ask Zachariah. And, of course, the Brain. Brain's coming up shortly, so we'll ask the Brain about that as well.
Yeah.
So, real quick before we get to pay some bills, how do you feel about the Lizard today?
I feel good. He said he found some things that he thinks tipping. I feel good. And yesterday was, you needed the kid to go a little longer than he did. The bullpen, all the good arms in the bullpen were used the night before. I feel like yesterday was Topper saying, we'll get the third one tomorrow. We'll take the series. We'll have Luzardo. We'll have our bullpen arms, and let's do it on the third day.
So, after watching Mick,
yeah,
you remember after 2 starts, don't trade up.
Mm-hmm.
Did people's opinions change after 1 start?
I don't think so. Dude, that bases jam Kyle Tucker battle, that showed you something.
It did.
Yeah.
I like the kid a lot.
Yeah,
I like the kid a lot.
That's all I needed to see to be like.
But I have to be honest with you, if it means I can help this team now because I have such great pitching depth, I would move him. You're going to have to trade somebody.
I got a nug that might make you think twice about something.
Okay. All right. I'll look forward to that. Well, let's get into a couple nugs, and then we'll pay some bills.
Yeah,
so give me the nug now.
All right.
Now that you teased
so
it.
These
are VG's newsy nugs.
Fraser, we're going to jump to number 2 that I gave you, the second one.
VG's newsy nugs.
Newsy nugs. We got graphic with newsy nugs? Yeah. So our boy's been pitching in AAA now. 5 starts, I think.
Painter?
Mm-hmm. He's got an ERA of 5.19 and 6 starts with Lehigh Valley. 5 innings pitched. Oh, that was last night. He was 5 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, 2 home runs. Last 2 starts, 9 innings pitched, 10 earned runs.
Yeah.
So it might not be so quick to get rid of Abel.
See, here's the issue.
Especially now they're saying Nola's got some, what is that, a back thing now?
No, it was, oh my God, what was it?
Chest? It's something about like coughing or lingering from a cough or something.
Yeah.
He's not going to throw till the All-Star break, maybe?
Yeah.
It's saying rib injury.
It was a rib.
A stress reaction in rib.
Yeah. Here's the issue with him. The thing that worries me about those numbers, strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
Not 1 an inning. Like I need.
He's not been overpowering the AAA hitters.
Yeah. See, I need him to come in and blow guys away.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was troubled.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it's a good catch. I've not been paying attention. I'm going to ask about that.
2 starts, he looked good.
Well, I asked Charlie. I talked to Charlie like last week, and I said, "Have you seen Painter?" And he was like, "Yeah, it looks good, haven't it? It looks good. Yeah, on track."
That might have been one of the first 2 back.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Maybe there's some scouting
I think
on
he
him.
was up last week to look at him, so I got to ask him.
Yeah. Also, big night at the ballpark.
You were there last night.
Yeah. Jason Kelsey was there. Broadcast crew is in the stands.
Oh, I love that piece.
Yeah,
of it.
they're in the bleachers. T-Mac.
Great catch. I saw the catch. Yeah. Rojas threw him a ball.
Yes.
And he caught that and he gave it out to a girl. It was a great T-Mac. I love the glove.
You like the glove?
Yeah, for T-Mac.
Yeah.
For him.
Yeah, in the outfield, for the broadcast.
The thing I like about him, he catches it, he doesn't miss a beat. Or as the
No,
plays
he's a
go.
ball. You can see he knows his way around the game.
Let me ask you something about this, because this drives my buddy crazy when we go to the game. They hit the home runs, and everyone cheers for you to throw the ball back.
Yeah.
They throw the ball back, and it makes the ball girl. She got to take a good hike over near second base, sometimes run and get the ball. What does she do when she gets the ball? She gives it to another fan in the stands.
Yeah.
So the ball's just staying in the stand. It all just seems like it's just a futile
I'll be honest with you.
action.
I hate it.
Meaningless action.
I hate that for one reason.
Cubs did it?
Yeah, it's a ripoff.
Right. Yeah.
Like, why are we throwing the ball back when it's a ripoff from Chicago?
Yeah.
I disagree with that whole thing.
I'm with you there. And then if they're going to throw it away
Like,
and
we should
incinerate
not
the ball,
steal another fan base's intellectual property.
I
totally
agree
agree.
100%.
They would be pissed off. We were pissed off when they stole the Eagles fight song for.
Oh, yeah, for that
for
commercial.
That, what, Diet Coke or whatever?
Yeah.
No good.
No good.
All right, what else you got?
We got another great catch this week. It was 2 nights ago, but it was so good.
Clark?
Yeah. If anyone didn't see a Stetson Clark catch, he's like,
And this one to center field. Denzel Clark on the move back after he stepped towards home plate and makes another catch.
Oh, my God.
Back-to-back weeks where he wins the electric play.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
No, he's got to hit, but he's a great fielder.
Yeah, but this will be his second or third week where he's going to have the defensive play of the week.
Yeah. No, he's a web gem, walking web gem.
He's what we thought
No,
Rojas would be. I feel.
He's a guy you go, hey, I don't care. You bet ninth.
Exactly.
He's got speed.
Yes.
Like, just get on base, bunt, thing, whatever.
Totally.
But he's a wizard with the glove. Wizard.
He is a wizard.
Tony the ref was like, dude, have you seen Clark? I'm like, yeah, dude.
Torrey Hunter came out and was like, yo, this is one of the greatest catches I've ever seen.
No,
he made a lot of catches his own.
Yeah, I mean, that was way out.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't like a lip job.
No, dude. His feet above the wall.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I like Zach Baldwin talked to the press, and I love it. You can't Nick's doing his research. So Nick, when he's meeting the team, he talks to the guys on 1-year contracts. And Zach's telling
in team meetings, Nick mentions kind of my story, and with all the 1-year deal guys we have now, Nick mentioned my story earlier on in OTAs, and I love it because he uses me as an example to kind of prove yourself, like, and this, especially in this organization. This is an organization that's going to give you a shot, an honest try, and I've talked to Josh Uche especially. He's really inspired and trying to take that same trajectory, that same path. And with that, it's a lot of hard work and just dedication to making it your best year.
Dude, telling these
strong move by Nick.
Telling these 1-year guys,
strong move. Like, look what happened right in front of you. It's there for you.
He did the right thing.
It's there for you, man.
Yep.
It's there for the taking.
Yep, you get paid.
Dangling.
Yeah.
Talking to you,
Yeah.
Frazier. It's there for you. Seize it.
Genius move by Nick, though.
Gee, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
It's still with football. One franchise that doesn't do anything right, it seems. Shamar Stewart's in a holdout with the Bengals.
Yep.
He really called out the team yesterday.
Yep. 30.
Like some people say, we all agree trade will be right? But technically, he's still 1% wrong for being under contract. So, in my case, I'm 100% right. So it should be a no-brainer. And in Trey's case, I think it should be a no-brainer too. I mean, he led 17.5 sacks for 2 years back-to-back. If I was the GM or I was the owner, take all my money. But I guess they don't operate like that. But
If I was the owner, take all my money. He's calling out, the vet. You know what they're doing? They're putting a clause in his contract where if he does something that voids a year of the contract, it voids out his entire signing bonus.
Yeah.
And it's the first time they've ever done this.
No.
He's like a guinea pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got to stand strong. It's ridiculous.
I'm Team Shamar.
Yeah, you got to be.
I'm Team Shamar.
They have everything set up with the Bengals. We're like, what are they doing?
Dude, they're a cash-poor franchise. So even though these franchises are worth, billions, what you see now, and Jeffrey Lurie did that. He sold a piece of it off, for
$800 million or $600 million or something.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter because you own you're still
Still
a
got like
majority owner,
92%.
right?
Yeah.
But you shaved off 4 or 5% for $900 million, right?
Right.
So you're liquid now.
Yeah.
But Bengals aren't liquid. They need to take on. He needs to take on partners and get cash. Raiders were that way. That's why they said the Eagles were kind of manipulating the salary cap because they were a cash team.
Because they have cash and they're paying
Right.
cash. Yeah. And I guess maybe the Bengals and teams like that will complain that's why Rodgers going to get involved.
Yep.
I got a golf thing, but I want to do one more football thing. Dan Campbell.
I love Dan Campbell.
Yeah. Dan Campbell wants a live lion on the sideline.
Oh, yeah. I would go nuts.
And
we have a live eagle.
His owner is on board with it. And the NFL has said, nah, we're not going to have 70,000, 60,000 people with a live lion.
There's got to be some PETA
on
stuff.
a leash on the sideline. It's not going to be caged.
On a leash.
Dude, I love it. Give me the lion. Did you see?
It's out of his mind.
There's a video. I don't know. I should have got it.
Imagine it just roaring in the middle of a game.
Dude, it'd be scary.
That'd be awesome. Well, I mean, Mike had a tiger. Tyson had the tiger.
That is true.
tiger,
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, I pet that tiger.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was at
Were you
his house.
scared?
No, because he's not going to let me pet it. It's going to take a chunk.
Oh,
out of
yeah.
me.
Mike Tyson would never let you pet a tiger that might take a chunk out.
Well, I mean,
Sure, seems
I think
He took
reasonable.
a chunk out of a guy. Like, come on.
no, what happened was I was at his house in Vegas to do a story on him. So it was like, so I was hanging out and he was there and then he's like, Anthony, do you want to pet the tiger? I said, yeah, I would love to see the tiger. Go, come here. And then we go see it.
Where is it?
It was in the back. He had it like in his backyard.
Is it a big cage or a pen? Or?
Yeah, it's like a pen. And he got right at it. And I was like, all right. So I walked up and pet it.
Did it feel like or any other cat or?
Yeah, it was awesome. Like, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't like, hey, buddy. Like, it wasn't like it was a dog. Like, I kind of went like this. And then I kind of like, I mean, all right. I was definitely afraid, but I wasn't like petrified.
Was it?
Like, I was timid.
Did you put your arm in the pen?
No, we were in the pen.
You were
had
in the
it.
pen?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Get out of here.
Nah.
Yeah.
Even the arm into the pen is scary because they latch.
Yes.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
done.
No,
rip your arm off.
No, we walked in.
Yeah.
Like, he had the thing. It was. I don't know. I'm sure he had it trained. I mean,
That's what Siegfried and Royce did.
Yeah.
One of those dudes got mauled.
that's true.
It's the biggest cat in the world.
It was awesome. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is a long time ago. Plus, I was 20, whatever. So I was probably,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid, like we all are. Back
yeah.
then.
And I,
Take risks you
plus it
shouldn't.
was, I don't want to be a, I don't want to be a scaredy cat next to Tyson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Gotta
I
show
gotta,
your strength.
right.
Yeah.
Tyson's not going to respect you.
Hey, let me know what you think of this. The Colts, Jim Israel is no longer with us. Carly Israel Gordon, I guess it's his daughter's the owner, or the acting owner. So she's wearing plans to wear a head. She's been wearing a headset during these activities with a call sheet, and she's listening in. She says she wants to know, when you pay these guys a lot of money, you want to know who's giving you BS about mistakes and stuff. You think that would fly here? Jeff Lurie on the sidelines with a headset and the call sheet,
Don't they kind of do it already with Big
listening
Dom?
and overseeing.
Well, Big Dom's not. I mean, Big
Jeff's never looked like this dude on the sidelines with
Well,
the Eagles
no,
hat
but, like,
and the big headset on and the
He's not
laminated call
personally
sheet.
doing it, but I'm sure he has people who listen in.
It's a little.
I don't mind. God bless. The fact that she's showing that kind of interest in it, I think it's kind of cool.
You think he's trying to? I don't know. I
Maybe.
don't think. Yeah.
I have a nug for you.
Yeah.
It was sent to me last night by one Baldy.
Oh yeah.
Baldy had a night last night, and it was all the hockey guys. Busch. I was setting up the date, and there he is.
Yeah.
Baldy and Wayne Gretzky.
Now they look like they're at somebody's house here or hotel room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, they're all staying down there, so it's always hotel.
That's got to be a party, man.
Oh
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
had a cigar night.
I'm gonna wager that Wayne spilled something on his shirt, and that's his base layer.
Tequila.
Yeah.
They're probably having tequilas and cigars.
Yeah, it's Baldy and Wayne Gretzky last night.
Oh, yeah. Two legends.
The boys, that's what I said. Two leg Texans.
Man. They got similar hairstyles, too.
Yeah.
That must be the legend hair.
Got to do, yeah. That's true.
Cool guy. Like, that's one
What time did that photo come through?
3 a.m.
Yeah, like, was it super late?
No, because I'll tell you exactly when it did. I'll get the
Eddie Wright says the great one and Wayne Gretzky.
9:08 last night.
Oh, wow. They were getting into it early.
Yeah, 9:08 last night.
They must have hit a happy hour hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah, they were hanging. They had a cigar night. The boys. I wish I was down there.
Who wouldn't want to be there? Yeah.
Oh my God. And I had Busch. I texted Busch.
Yeah.
But I was like, Baldy's gonna come join you guys. Oh, get out. Cool.
Was he had plans to be with them that night?
Yeah, Busch was going out. It was Busch. It was Kenny.
Oh, nice.
It was all of them. I think all the guys.
Paul?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Good stuff. and the great one. I mean, Gretzky's the man.
Yeah, dude.
All right, let's take care of some business, and then we go to the brain.
Peeling Onion says Gretz looks like he needs a detox.
Oh, that's great. That's beautiful. All right, let's tell you about Rothman Orthopedics. Rothman, let's talk about getting you back to what you love, especially this summer, right? Summer activities. While we're waiting to watch football, you want to be active. So whether you're biking by the Schuylkill, chasing your kids through the sprinkler, or finally tackling that hiking trail, it's tough when your body doesn't cooperate.
Oh, yeah.
All right? You're taking the dogs out.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take them hiking. All right? That's where Rothman Orthopedics comes in. From aches after a pickup game to old injuries flaring up on summer adventures, Rothman's team of experts is here to help. With evidence-based care and commitment to restoring your mobility, they'll get you back out there stronger than ever.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Don't let pain put your summer on pause. Visit RothmanOrtho.com/PHLY to book your appointment today. Get back to doing what you love. Pain-free. All right? Rothman Orthopedics, getting you back to your summer game is their mission.
Really, Frazier was so miserable in the pain, and then Rothman fixed him up. He looks good now. He's happy.
Yeah.
Man.
No
All
neck
smiles.
brace.
Yeah.
Looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Cherry Hill Mitsubishi, a Folk Auto Group dealership. That's Billy, man. Billy runs Cherry Hill Mitsubishi for the Folk Auto Group. You got to go down there and check them out. CherryHillMitsubishi.com. And they have the most affordable 7-passenger SUV. Tam wants one of those.
Oh, a 7-passenger?
She wants the big one.
You have
Who's
another
the kids?
You have another kid?
And am I having another kid?
Yeah.
No, this is because there's a lot of these carpools. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Sports, all the stuff,
right.
So check it out. And here's the fact that shocked me. Mitsubishi Motors is #1 in customer satisfaction with dealer services among mainstream brands and SUV owners. And that's not me saying, that's J.D. Power.
Mm-hmm.
The power.
They're respectable people, J.D. Power.
Right. Combine that with the best warranty in the automotive business, 10 years, 100,000-mile powertrain, 5 years, 60,000 bumper to bumper. Why settle for a lesser warranty and be on the hook for costly repairs down the road? All right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why you got to go to Cherry Hill Mitsubishi. That's why you got to go see Bill, all right? You tell him I sent you. He'll give you the Cuz discount, the Cuz deal, all right? Drive home your new Mitsubishi today, just minutes from all bridges, available online 24/7, cherryhillmitsubishi.com. Now, I know people buy Mitsubishis elsewhere. I just don't know why.
No
idea. All right, time now for the break.
Brain. Red, the brain finder.
La Brain!
Hola, my friend.
So how's your Costa Rican adventure?
It was a great time, enjoying it very much. sent you a photo. Did you get the photo of that bird I sent you, that toucan? Did it come through?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent you a photo of like a toucan.
Hold on.
Did it not come through?
Toucan? It's toucan. Toucan
Or
Sam.
toucan.
No, cut.
Fruit Loops, bro.
Oh, it did. I missed it. Oh, yes. In fact, wow, look at that thing. I'm going to send it to Frazier. Put it on the
Yeah,
screen.
send it to me.
Wow, dude. That's a beautiful bird. That's like that bird we watch. Oh, my God. What's the kids' movie? Oh, damn it.
Rio?
Jumanji?
Yeah, Rio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
The kids love my kids. I watched Rio 17
The
times.
parrot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a beautiful bird, cuz.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Toucan, man. That's all.
Yeah.
Toucan Sam.
It was eating
Toucan
Fruit Loops
Brain.
too.
Toucan.
Thing was eating Fruit Loops. But you know, it's interesting. And that photo of Baldy and Gretzky was incredible. I mean, that was
You
legitimately
were the only
like,
one missing.
oh, but yeah, right, exactly. No, but that was an incredible photo. And by the way, you're telling the story about Tyson Anthony. I run a 5.640. I would run a 4.640 when he asked me to go meet the Tiger.
No, you wouldn't have, because like I was trying to get in with him.
Yeah, right.
Oh, nice.
There, oh, yeah,
Look
there
at
it
that
is.
bird.
That's a cool bird.
Yeah, hello, there you go.
Great shot, Brain.
Yeah,
That's beautiful, that bird.
Yeah.
it
Now,
was
you
cool.
would have done it. Like I was trying to get, Mike and I was trying to get, again, he's one of the biggest newsmakers around, and I'm at his house, right? I'm at the Post. I'm writing this big, long feature. He's going to be
That'd be
doing
incredible.
this. He's going to do this. He's going to, this was like a couple months before the Holyfield fight. And, you're going to want to try to buddy up to him,
No, I get it. It must have been an incredible experience. Did he have like 1 million guys around him?
Yeah. Not 1 million.
Yeah.
There was a bunch,
Yeah.
He had,
But man,
there was a bunch of guys. They're all good dudes. Like, I'll be honest with you. I liked Mike. I mean,
he was my favorite athlete growing up.
I
Him and Barkley
liked
were my
him a
two
lot.
guys.
Like, I don't know. I mean, he was crazy, and we know the deal. But I don't know. I found him, like, there was an honesty about him. Both him. I love covering boxing. I covered boxing as a part-time beat, and it was awesome. I mean, I loved it. I thought the characters were amazing, so rich.
Yeah, boxing, it's funny. That was such a, I used to love boxing. And I guess the MMA kind of just, it's almost like the dinosaur, right? Like the dinosaurs got taken out. Like, I feel like boxing has more or less been taken out. I mean, I guess you have a few stars, but man, you had obviously, you had, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. And then when those guys gone, then, it's just very few guys now
it
that
doesn't have the
you
same
say,
cachet.
Canelo maybe, but it's just such a small list.
So
it's crazy how boxing is just not there anymore.
And it was bigger than life. Like fight
I loved
night
it.
in Vegas. So my buddy Boo came out with me, right? And he used to come out to a lot of fights. I'm like, dude, I'm covering the fight. He's like, I'm there. And, he'd stay in my room. The paper would pay for my room. And so I would get him a credential. And we wound up, like the night Tupac got shot.
Tyson, right?
Outside the MGM, like I was covering the fight in the Grand Garden Arena. Well, he was meandering. Early in the fight, there was a kind of a high rollers spot for where the promotions people put everything, and we had access as press. So he's like, dude, I'm hanging with Charlie Sheen, right? Like, so he's like, you look like a Money Never Sleeps guy, and then he walks, I don't know, whatever, but we lose each other because there's mayhem at the casino. Shots rang out in the casino floor. Like the Grand Garden Arena, you walk through this tunnel, and you'll come up on the casino floor, and at the MGM, and there were shots inside the casino, and I'd never seen this before. They shut the casino down.
I remember that.
There were, yellow tape everywhere. Apparently chips were, I didn't know. He was there. I was writing my story. So I didn't know all about it. We were meeting for a drink after, and he was telling me the story. Like chips were flying in the air and people were ducking.
Damn.
It was wild.
Yeah, that was great. Who did he fight? Was it Bruce Seldon?
Yes. Yep. It was Seldon. Great memory, dude.
Yeah.
Great memory.
Yeah.
That's a brain memory.
I needed it yesterday in our matchup with Sealski. I needed that memory.
Yeah,
well, so we have a correction, which is going to lead to a rematch. The photo you used of Rich Sutter was actually Ron Sutter.
Yeah. Sorry, the twin thing got me.
Oh, man.
And Brain caught that.
It's a 2-point swing.
He he's still at fault for jumping the gun, but he saw the photo and he thought he knew it. So we have to do a stat correction, and that means we're going to have a rematch.
Weren't they twins, though? Don't they look identical?
Right, but one's 15, one's 14.
They were not. No, they weren't identical. I don't think they were identical.
They were.
I then looked at the photos of them. They look different. I looked at like that's Ron Sutter, and it was Ron Sutter.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to rematch it. Technically, you didn't lose.
Yeah, because I lost by 2. That was a 2-point swing.
Yeah,
that was a 2-point swing.
So the judges, this is like boxing. We got to go back and fight again.
Hey, well, we got Brain. I got this nugget, this video of them getting the course ready at Oakmont. This was fascinating to me to see how this crew gets the golf course in shape. It was machine. Like, I thought they drove around, dude.
Wow.
There's one where they're on the edge. Yeah, dude, look at this.
Wow.
I had no clue this many people were involved in this. That's what's great. I just wanted to get it.
That's awesome. So let's talk about Oakmont, because that's tomorrow. U.S. Open. I love the U.S. Open. Yeah. Father's Day, the whole thing. Let me ask you, Brain. They're saying that Par could win it.
Could win. Yeah. Everyone's been saying, Anthony, if there's not some rain to soften the greens, they think this is like the way these pros are talking about. They're all saying it's like the hardest course they've ever seen.
Rory shot an 81 practice.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, you know what I want to watch, Anthony? DeChambeau just shot there, and he shot a 70. But he went on YouTube and he took every single shot and he analyzed every shot and what it was like. And they said, they seemed interesting. I was reading like some pro golfers actually watched his YouTube thing to see his analyzation of all the shots or whatnot. But DeChambeau does a pretty good job with his social media content to like get people engaged or whatnot. But you can maybe, I'm guessing, see exactly how he feels about each shot and why maybe each thing was potentially difficult on that course. I think it's Oakmont's the most U.S. Opens have ever been held there.
Yes, it is amazing. Do you have any selections?
I mean, listen, it's funny. Like I took Scheffler in the Masters to come in like the top. Rory. I took Rory in the last tournament to come in the top 10 to just not deal with bad luck. And I wanted to take Scheffler to come in the top 10, but it was like minus like 300 or something like that, and I just don't know if I want to lay that on such a hard course.
Minus 300?
He's minus 250 at Bet Parks right now at the B&B.
Minus 250. Okay,
that's
better.
Insane.
Okay,
top 10 is the greatest player in the world.
It's 156 golfers, and the U.S. Open's the hardest course where, like, I feel like it's the most variance. You know what I mean? Because it's so hard. Like,
and you could have a bunch of golfers, at +1, and he's +2. And you lose.
It's true.
That's why I didn't do it yet. I mean, the guy I was maybe looking at, look, Scheffler's playing so well right now, but another 2 guys I think are like Steely tested, so to speak, that are good that I think have a shot and maybe take them to come top 10s would maybe be Xander Schauffele and Colin Morikawa. These are guys who have both won 2 majors each, decent form, and they certainly, I think, have the cojones, so to speak, to hang with Scheffler if it gets close or whatnot. Those would be the 2 guys I would probably look at that I think.
Have you looked at course history at all?
I have not, but those play. I don't think Morikawa has played. I don't think either player's played it. I don't think. I could be wrong. The course history I like looking at the most is the Masters because I find it's the most predictable. But look, a lot of it's just going to be how's the weather. And obviously, look, accuracy, right? Because if you're hitting the ball in the rough, you're just going, it's like an automatic shot penalty.
Right.
Basically, if it's in
Right.
that deep rough, you basically just tell yourself, okay, I'm taking my medicine, I'm getting out of it. But those are just two guys that I think traditionally play well in the majors that are usually there that I think certainly have a shot. But again, there's so many. I mean, I said I'm not looking to bet someone to win because to me, it's so hard to pick that needle out of the haystack, so to speak. I'd rather bet the top 10s and top 20s, just win my bet and move on.
You know, I like top 10. I love top 10, but I'm going to throw some money to win. Tommy Fleetwood. I like how he's been playing lately.
Fleetwood.
Yeah.
Fleetwood's always been a guy, VG. If there's one guy that has not won a major that I'd be like, how did he not win one? He's been in so many contentions, it feels like. And Fleetwood's one of those guys. It's always feels like he's always been there, just hasn't quite gotten it done. But I agree. He obviously is a Ryder Cup guy. He's a guy that certainly can do it. I don't disagree with that.
He's plus 250 for the top 10.
So here you go, buddy.
Yeah.
Fleetwood. I have this one of these golf websites. They talk about course fit and everything. And they say this about Fleetwood. Strong U.S. Open history, playing well, checks all the boxes. Good value.
Good Fleetwood
I agree.
pick, yeah.
He's 33-1 to win. He's plus 250 to be top 10.
I'm going with Ludwig.
I'd rather take the 250.
Ludwig Atberg. I think
You love that guy.
I love him. I think
he's
he's
good.
playing really well.
He's a plus 250 for the top 10 and 2,200 to win.
Now, this is interesting. They like Straka.
Oh, Sepp Straka. He's plus 350 for top 10.
Yeah, they like Straka. They think he's a course fit. The skinny says, let me get it here. Let's see. Long, accurate off the tee, elite birdie maker, has found himself time and time again in the mix in a varsity of conditions. Everyone is going to jump on Lowry, he said, but Straka has a shot.
I mean, he's obviously a solid golfer, but again, these things are it's hard, man. It's hard, and that course is hard. But again, I would recommend people watching. I would do a bet the Parks top 10s, top 20s, or the matchups. Betting the winner, guys, is just look. If you want to do a pizza bet and have fun with it, sure, why not? But man, those things, I'm letting you know, they're not getting you to heaven because no one can beat. I'm being serious. No one can beat that market. No one can beat that market. But top 10s, top 20s, head to heads, absolutely.
All right. Well, you'll have more tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll come up with some stuff for tomorrow's show.
Okay. All right. Father's Day Sunday, man. I mean, I look forward to it. Like just being a day, and I get to I want to watch.
Do you get to just?
And
chill?
we don't have a tournament this weekend, so I'm actually off.
Nice.
We have a game Saturday, and that's it.
And then the Joe DiMaggio's kind of streak, Anthony, for you.
Yeah. Well, we still
like a Cal Ripken. You don't have a tournament.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've heard all year.
Yeah, I know. We play a lot of games. Yeah, we play a ton of games.
Yeah.
We our districts start up on Monday. That's the Little League districts on the way to.
Oh yeah,
to Williamsport. Yeah, that starts on Monday. A lot of teams in the region. Everybody's starting to play. All right, what do we got today, boys?
Well, can you guys do me a favor? Because I can't get it in Costa Rica. And I like doing that Parks game combo. But because I'm out of the country, it's not letting me bring it up.
You had the over last night.
Yeah, it's funny. I was going to take whoever had the better price, Phillies or Cubs. And one was 260, one was 220. Because I thought both teams would score. But just, couldn't get it done. But I want to know what the Parks combo is tonight. I think it's I'm looking potentially at the over. And I want to see what it is with the Cubs and the Phillies, and if it's 8.5 or 9.5. I'm assuming it's going to be 9.5.
Right now,
it
is 8.5.
And what are the Phillies and over, and what are the Cubs and over?
Well, let me do
the game combo.
Phillies and
Parks
over.
Game combo.
Hold on, I got a couple other parlays things in here. I got my World Cup stuff in here. Plus 225 for Phillies and over.
And what are the Cubs?
Plus 220.
Wow,
all right, I'm gonna go Phillies and over for the Parks combo play of the day. I'm gonna go Phillies and over because Lazardo's had. Can I ask you guys a question? is in the history of the sport. I'd love to know this. Has there ever been a worse 2 starts in the history of baseball? In the history of the sport, I'm literally saying
There
the
has to
history.
be.
Anthony, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Yeah, there has to be. Jason
I
Stark.
don't think you're right about that.
Out with,
he's what is he giving up? 20 runs in like a few innings?
Let me ask Croc. Worst
I think this could be the worst 2-game stretch ever
by a pitcher in MLB history. Go ahead, you continue while I do this.
Yeah, well, listen, I got guys. Disappointing night last night.
Here you go, John Clark a few days ago. Luzardo, he's the first pitcher in modern baseball history to give up 20 earned runs in just 5.2 innings over 2 starts.
Okay, I was there. I go. All right, I thought that it was maybe the worst I've ever seen, and I guess it was. First guy, Anthony, give up 20 runs in 5 innings.
In under 6 innings across 2 straight starts.
Yeah, it's never happened. That's unprecedented.
All right. God, that can't be. I can't be right.
Come on,
Anthony, I've never heard of a guy give up 20 runs. That's because it never happened.
Hold on, let me go chat GPT.
Oh, he's in all the AIs. Right. How'd you do yesterday, Brain?
Not good. No bueno. 1-3. I debated between giving out Gore with the game with the 5-inning line, or Gore with the under the total in the 5 innings. Of course, it was 4-2. Nationals also 1-3, 85 and 75. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 plays at AVG.
Jesus.
Hopefully, get back.
I was 2 and 2. I fade. I know when to fade these Dodgers. They got smoked.
Maury Povich, man. I mean, come on.
I got screwed up on the Orioles game. Screwed me in the Guardians, but I went 2 and 2. Because my soccer bet.
Okay, so here we go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Netherlands put up.
Anthony, I love the deep dive.
Jamie Moyer gave up 11 runs on August 9th, 2000 against the White Sox. 5 days later, he gave up another 11 runs against the Tigers.
It's my birthday.
He gave up 22 runs? So that thing that information was wrong?
John Clark's got bogus information.
I'm just looking at it right now. Jamie Moyer pitching for the Mariners.
This is not good for the people saying AI can't do our job.
Well, how many innings did he pitch? How many innings did he pitch his second game?
Maybe he pitched 7 innings one game.
It's probably the innings thing.
Yeah.
So he gave up 22 runs. It doesn't say the innings. Yeah, who cares about the innings? He gave up 22 runs in 2 starts. By the way, in June of 2022, Jared Eichhoff. Remember the Eichhoff?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember Jared Eichhoff. Ex-Philly.
When he starts,
yeah.
Jared Eichhoff gave up 10 runs back-to-back starts in June of 2022.
Wow. Wait, so now I feel like all this information's wrong.
Listen, I went to chat.
I give you credit for looking it up. Because when he said no one did it, now you just found 2 guys.
Here we
go.
I don't know who this is. This is a Birnbaum, Jonah Birnbaum. Here's a complete list of pitchers since integration allowed 20-plus runs over a 2-game span in the same season. Luzardo, Vin Mazzaro, Scott Kazmir.
Vin Mazzaro.
I remember him. Texas.
Vin Mazzaro, I think, was the A's. Scott Kazmir was actually decent.
Jason Marquise, Jamie Moyer,
Jason Marquise. Yeah, he had a decent
Jose Lima, and Mike Oquist.
I remember all those guys.
Dude, you and I.
They all
We're going to go bust out non-Philadelphia.
Exactly, man.
We might beat Mikey. If
that's we'll see.
Non-Philly, he's a big favorite.
Yeah.
I'm going to start, guys. I'll do the one in the NBA, and it's the only thing I've done it both games.
You only got one play in the NBA?
Because, Anthony, again, these numbers they're freaking good. They're good, but I'm going to go TJ McConnell over 6.5 points again.
All right.
He averages 9. He doesn't need many minutes to get it. I'm going to take my boy TJ to get there. And you know what? I'll give another one. I like in the first quarter, I'll lay 1.5 with OKC. I'll make a double play. Or I like 2-1. I like OKC every single way in this game. I bet the first quarter, I bet the first half, and I bet the game. But I'll just give out first quarter laying 1.5 OKC to make things simple. OKC minus 1.5 first quarter. That'll be my 8th bet because that'll be 2 in the NBA and I got 6 in baseball.
Okay.
I'm going OKC minus 5.
OKC. So we got an OKC for VG. All right. Brain.
I'm going to go first baseball bet of the day. Schwellenbach of the Braves, Chad Patrick of the Brewers. Schwellenbach's been really good. That stadium is, I think, the 2nd or 3rd best in Major League Baseball in terms of run prevention. Patrick has been really solid. Right now, the Rookie of the Year favorite.
Yeah. Chad.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year favorite. Taking under 4.5 runs.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be, again, 2-1.
That's got 1-0, 1-1.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be a lower scoring game. Take my chances like under there. Third bet.
I'm going to go Giants minus 1.5 versus the Rockies. Rays on the mound. I like it.
All right.
I may add that to my portfolio, by the way. It's funny. Last night, VG, Anthony, they were down 5-2, I think it was in the 9th. And I looked at, I'm like, you know what? The live betting was like, I'm like, all right, I may just take a chance here and take, because just Colorado just loses every game. And I'm like, but man, they only made them like taking like 5-1 odds down 3 runs in the 9th.
What?
I'm like, I can't take 5-1 when you're down 3 runs. It should be like 25, 30-1.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I mean, they're basically scared, saying, you know what, this team will blow it, and they did. I'm gonna listen. I did a bunch of bets with this guy, but I'm only gonna give out 2 on the show. Anthony VG, one of my favorite guys has been Chris Bubic of the Royals. I'm going to go under 5 innings on the 5-inning line. I actually think Schmidt of the Yankees is decent. Royals are, I think, 3rd least runs scored in Major League Baseball. I'm going to take under 5 in Bubic versus Schmidt. Baseball, the one sport where pitching or defense beats offense. Bubic has been that great. He's just been the best. Even better.
I love him. And the Yankees have strikeouts in them, so I guess you got over Ks.
I didn't give that one out, but yes, I bet that, but I'm not giving it out as one of the official ones. I bet if Bubic has a bad game, there'll be a memorial service for me.
Bubic.
Brain, if you got one more, go. I want to double check a line before I give it out.
You got it. Yeah. Well, I'm giving Bubic over 16.5 outs. He's 9-2 to that. I think he'll pitch 5 2/3 innings.
Yeah, I agree.
But I like him in every single way. If I told you, Anthony, how many things I bet on that thing tonight, if he has a bad game, it's not going to be a good day for me. That and OKC, I need OKC to win the first quarter, first half in the game, and I need Bubic to pitch well. Those 2 games are going to determine my night.
Question: do you have a college tuition on those 2 together?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. For maybe even all 4 years.
State college or private college?
No, I'm talking like the Dukies of the world.
You have a Maybach?
That's what his driver. I
don't know about a Maybach. No, I would not go that high. It's not a Maybach. No, no, definitely not that. But nice luxury car, maybe, but not a Maybach.
Eat a brain.
All right, I'm going UEFA Championship under 21. Ooh. I'm going to take Italy, the squad, to get over 1.5 goals today versus Romania.
Yeah,
it's minus 139.
Man, that would have been R. Kelly's favorite bet. I don't know if that's appropriate or not.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. All right. I'm going to go Seattle with Wu, and I'm going to kind of double hit this one. Going against our favorite whipping boy, one of them, Eduardo Rodriguez, guys. Mariners around a pick 'em. I think I laid like $1.10 or $1.08. Wu's been terrific all year. Erod's been horrible. And I'm going to take Erod to give up over 4.5 hits. 9-0, giving up over 4.5 hits. I'll take my chances. The guy who's pitching this bad gives up 5 hits.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take the Mariners in the game.
All right. I like it.
And then I got VG. You got anything more?
No, I'm done.
I got guys. Just one more. I'm going to take Kyle Hendricks. Also over 2.5 earned runs. He's done this 9 of his last 10. He's going against a Vegas team that can hit. And Hendricks pitches to contact. Again, none of these guys. The ERA's around 6. He should give up 3 runs. He absolutely should.
Dude,
I like the bet.
there's
I like
one-
today's card. I hope it's not a bad day because I actually some days you like better than others. I do like today's card. I feel pretty good about it. But we'll
There's
see.
a guy that I suggest people jump on. I don't know how you play it, hits, bases, or whatever, but Jacob Wilson of the A's,
He's been great.
All he does is hit.
Mm-hmm.
All this kid does is hit. And he's still a rook, and he's still young, and I think they're probably just, I don't know if there's still value with him, but, you know, I would take him to get hits and put him in whatever, because I just think the kid.
Yeah, I'm curious what his, I have to look at what his total
I love
bases
that
are.
kid. That kid just rakes.
Yeah, and Hendricks pitches to contact, and he's not like some dominant guy that's going to like just strike out. You know what I mean? Like he's going to get good quality at bats there, and look, I'm sure he's a big favorite to get 8, but he maybe get 2+ hits or something like that, getting a nice price.
Yep.
It was actually Brain, you're in a collar shirt pretty early. You up? Is this the shirt from last night, or you got somewhere to go this morning?
VG again, you know me well. It was definitely the shirt from last night. The Queen is laughing in the background because I was because guys, in fairness to me, it is early 2 hours earlier here. So like I woke up and I was a little disoriented, and I was just looking for any kind of shirt to put on.
Ayahuasca down there?
I love it.
No, well,
hey,
no, that'll be a different day. But
salud.
Yeah. Different kind of trip. Yeah, we got the little one here, so no ayahuasca on this trip. But anyway, maybe another time.
You enjoy, buddy. You deserve it.
I appreciate you guys.
See you,
I'll
buddy.
see you
Good
guys
luck,
tomorrow.
brother.
Be good.
Brain.
There he is, the Brain. Take care of some business, and we got from the Brain to the Dad. That's right. Our man D. David Murphy, going to join us coming up.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got there, buddy? Let's talk about some of our friends.
We're going to talk some flooring, some good flooring, because just like your favorite home team needs a home court, field, ice advantage, your home needs a floor advantage, and Empire Today can help you get it. Empire Today is flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring, just flooring, every single day. Not like those big box stores where if someone's helping you out in flooring, well, they might be helping people out in plumbing and electrical and lumber, and they don't know what they're talking about. And that's what makes Empire Today so different, because Empire Today lives and breathes flooring. They're with you every step of the way, so it's a all different stress-free ball game. They bring their flooring experts to your home, digital virtual showroom designer, and take a picture of the room you're going to put some flooring in, pick out some samples, and you see what it looks like, so there's no guesswork. And with Empire Today, you get clear, upfront, all-inclusive pricing, and the cool thing is you can get installation as soon as the next day if they have your products in stock. So schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are better at home. PHLY listeners receive a $350 discount when using the code PHLY. Pretty simple, $350 for the code PHLY. Restrictions do apply, but visit Empire Today/PHLY for some details. Empire
Today. All right, let's talk about the BetParx Sportsbook online casino app. BetParx. You love to win, you love to play. BetParx. So the Brain gave it to you. The BetParx combo of the day: Phillies and over, pays $225. So you can play that one. You can play the game 3 as the series shifts to Indianapolis on OKC. He's got that, and of course he's got Bubic all over. How about he picks these baseball games, man, and he just rolls in. People like money like you couldn't even imagine, or we couldn't imagine.
No, dude.
It's unbelievable.
I'd be so
Duke
nervous and a mess.
On Bubic. I mean,
Major Bubic.
You know, it's crazy, right? It's not even the NBA Finals. I'm sure there's people around the country that are playing that, but not like baseball like that. Crazy. Anyway, check out. That's why he's Ace Rothstein. The Brain on all your BetParx plays. You have it right there, and of course you have all the live casino stuff. In fact, new customers get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down the first 24 hours. BetParx.com has all the details. You know, your live dealer, blackjack, roulette, craps. You have all the hot online slots. What are you on?
Deal or No Deal Mega Ways last night.
Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, like the TV show. What's his? Who's the host?
Howie
of that?
Mandel.
Howie Mandel.
I hate that dude.
The
Yeah, you get a little
germaphobe.
bonus. You pick out some suitcases, briefcases.
All right, good. Check it out. They got it all right there on the app. Lots and lots of fun. You got to be 21. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, joining us, the esteemed columnist for the Philadelphia Inquirer. We love him. New dad. We always talk about his journey, his dad journey. Our buddy David Murphy. Good morning, brother. How's Max?
He's doing great. He's doing great. He's eating a tremendous amount of food and growing a tremendous amount, and that's it's great to see. He's actually right now he's discovering his hands.
That's adorable, yeah.
Which I did not know. I did not know that was a thing. And so the other night, he's sitting there looking like me after taking an edible my freshman year of college.
Look at these things.
I'm like, Rebecca, is he all right? And she's an occupational therapist who works with kids his age. So it's been that's been amazing. So
oh my God, you hit the lottery, dude.
I know.
You got a ringer.
So I'm like, listen, I was like, what's wrong with him? She's like, oh, he's just discovering the fact that he can move his own hands. And then I'm like,
wow, that's Howie Roseman doing your budget, your household budget.
So I'm like, now my mind is blown because I'm thinking about, holy crap, imagine that experience, just discovering that oh my goodness, I'm in charge of these things and I can do anything, So yeah, he's like trying to put them in his mouth and he's like hitting himself in the face. And then, now he's finally getting it in his mouth. And last night he discovered his toes and you can see him staring at his toes and moving his feet and laughing because he's like, oh man, those are my feet. I'm moving them, So that's cool.
It's the best, dude. Yeah. It's the greatest. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to watch.
Well, it's funny because David and I are he's got Max, I got a Mas, right? Like we're it's the same kind of root name, and that I remember those moments, man. How's his hand? Like my Masmo had huge hands, right? Have you looked at the hands and feet?
I mean, you know how it is with parents. He's got the biggest hands, the biggest brain. He's oh man,
Look at those feet. I should do the same thing. I'd massage his arm. Let's go.
Exactly. I'll say this: his mother-in-law believes that from the beginning that he has big hands and big feet. So take that for what it's worth. But I mean, look, this is my first newborn, so I have no idea. I have nothing to compare it to. Yeah. But yeah, I'm like we've been. He loves standing. Like he can't stand on his own, but he sure tries to, which is fun. And we're still working out. I think he's finally getting the hang of pooping and tooting. So that took a little bit of work and effort on his part for a while, and I think he's finally getting the hang of that. So look, we're trying to we got a long way to go before he's getting drafted #1 overall. But,
I don't know, dude. We got kids in the area playing professional soccer, like 14. It's not that far along.
That's a good point. So yeah, it's all good. No, I think he looks strong and happy, and that's all that really matters,
So I was trying to place your doppelganger. I think I have a good doppelganger.
Yeah.
Who is it?
How about a young Joaquin Phoenix? What do you think?
I don't know. I gotta look it up.
Go to young. I could see Joaquin. He was one of my favorite actors.
He was great in I think he's been great in everything. I love Signs. Signs to me is one of the more underrated movies.
It is. The problem, it had the greatest buildup, right? The problem was the aliens. Like, the problem was water kills the aliens, right? So the alien comes to Earth, which is 2/3 water?
Look, it's a good point, and I guess I love the ending, the swing away. I mean, the whole movie, leaving these glasses of water around, and you think it's just like a character development thing, and then it turns out to be the whole answer, So, look, I'm sure there's a ton of plot holes, but I loved it. You know,
Well,
I'm with you.
the first half, the build-up was awesome. Like, the build-up was a great build. And then they have the feast, right? Before, they think they're going to die. So they make spaghetti and this and that. Like, it really is a great build-up. The alien itself looked weird. But other than that, I feel you.
It wasn't about an alien, though. It was a story about faith and
yes,
things working out.
Yes, yes, that's a great point.
Metaphor.
I'm with you.
I'm out on science.
But no, it's funny. It's like my whole life I've gotten you people have like, oh, this is who you look like. This is who you look like, and it's always like very random people, like Jason Bateman. There it is. There it is.
The best scenes in the movie.
Yeah, it does look. It was like 20 years ago,
Right.
The special effects have come a long way since then. He looks
Come
like
on, dude. That Bigfoot sighting from 60 years ago looks better than that.
It pops out of the bush.
He looks like Green Man from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
All right, I got this.
Anyway.
I got this for you. We were talking about the eras of Eagles football. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just the most entertaining of one of the great viewers said that he has not enjoyed. He's like, I've loved it, but if I'm to be honest, having lived through Buddy Ryan, he said that everything else has not been up to that level of entertainment. Which I get it. That was like half wrestling, right? But I want to ask you, even though you didn't live through all the eras, to rank the eras of Eagles football, all right? And just from a not greatness standpoint, but a thoroughly enjoyment standpoint. Like, for me, number one is today, but I want to throw them to you. You have Vermeil, Buddy, Andy, Chip, Doug, today.
See, I almost think you have to go by quarterbacks rather than head coaches. Because I would say my number one would be the Randall era for me.
Which is the Buddy.
Which is the Buddy era, but to me it was always about Randall, not about the defense and Buddy necessarily. I loved Randall. He was
You divorced the defense and defense.
I'm just saying. Now again, you got to keep in mind so much of this. When you really peel it back, is you've got a lot of it's the time of your life too. Where I'm. If I had watched this team at the age I was when Randall was there,
right,
I would probably feel a joy in my heart that has been dead inside ever since I became an adult.
Right?
There's just
right.
I just remember being out in the backyard. And I'll tell you what, I'll never forget that and no one remembers this play because it came in a game the Eagles were losing by like 35 points. But it is still, to this day, in my mind, the greatest play that better even than Saquon jumping backwards over a guy, was in the end zone against the Bills. Randall drops back, ducks under like three different people, runs side to side, throws it up to Freddie Barnett for like a 85-yard
91 yards.
Yep. And I grew up just reliving that play and reenacting that play, anywhere I went. To this day, even if I'm out there, throwing a football around with somebody, you just naturally because you're going back and forth. It was like one of those rare plays on the football field that you could see how much fun it was to be the guy doing it, and you had just never seen it before. So that's why I say Randall, even though, if you look back objectively, yes, it was the defense and the offense was the reason why that team really didn't do much, but that was my team. It's funny when you're a kid, like Charlie Garner was a huge one of my favorite Eagles growing up, and I don't know if it was that 200-yard day against the Niners or what.
Yeah.
He was just, and then I was a Bobby Hoying truther, of course, for a season. But yeah, I would say in terms of pure entertainment value and sentimental value, it would be the Buddy era number one for me. I will say this about this team, and I've said this before, it's kind of boring football, on the offensive side of the ball. Hurts' MVP season, that wasn't the case. Like, so put it this way: 2017 with Wentz, that team was a ton of fun to watch. When they were running the RPOs for the first time, and Wentz was like doing things that Randall did, like just winning games by himself. Even the play that he got hurt on, I mean, it was just, people forget how good Carson Wentz was that 2017 season. If he doesn't get hurt, he's the MVP. And I'll tell you what, I'll never be more surprised by anything than him completely falling off the face of the earth, because after that 2017 season, he looked like Josh Allen does now. He really did. But I mean, that team was just like, it was just, the style was a lot of fun. Where this team, and it's actually a testament to them, because it's the way they should be playing, and it's the way that it's unstoppable. But it's a lot like watching a wing T offense in high school football. Where you would get these high school football teams that like Berwick, where you just can't stop them, because they line up in the wing T and just run the ball down your throat, and that's what the Eagles look like. And it's great. It's great for winning, but I'm with you. It isn't the most entertaining football to me, unless winning is the ultimate form of entertainment, which it is. But I will say that I think the defense,
like I look at it a little different because of the home runs. Like,
yeah, oh yeah.
Like we haven't seen that. Like we see like every once in a while, Marcus Allen took one to the house, or Bo Jackson, or we've never seen this. What he hit 9 of them?
Oh, I believe me, I agree. And Saquon Barkley is the most impressive person, probably the most impressive football player I've ever watched in person. And yeah, I'm not trying to, it's kind of a point within a point. Like, don't get me wrong. I love watching Saquon run. But in terms of, like, I think here's the best way to put it. When you think about the 2 Super Bowls, the 2 this year and 2022, and you think about the game, I'm going to have way more vivid memories of watching Jalen Hurts do what he did in 2018 what was it, against the Chiefs when they lost. I mean, that was a fun game, and that was a fun offense. And I mean, Hurts is runner. Think about all those moments. Think about the 2017 Super Bowl with, you got the Corey Clement catch, you got the Alshon Jeffrey catch, you got the
4th down,
you got the Philly special. It's like, that was just like, oh my gosh, this is great. Where this year, it's like I might not remember one offensive play from that game. In terms of on a level of when I close my eyes.
Wow, that's fascinating. That's fascinating.
Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
We'll always remember 17 because it was the first one, right? Like, so you can't divorce yourself out of that. But man, I gotta tell you, I love this Super Bowl, like way more than any other game.
Well, yeah, because they won. But if
they were
Mahomes
dominant, dude. Like, watching what they did to Mahomes, putting him in a straitjacket, like that was just
that's what he's saying. He's saying like no offensive plays stood out, but defensively, yes.
I guess
right. I'm more talking about the Hurts' performance against the Chiefs in that first Super Bowl. I mean, he should have been the MVP
You're
of
an
that
offensive
game.
guy. You like Randall over the defense. You're like you're an O guy.
Yeah, but I will also say this. I was a huge Bobby Taylor fan, so I think that I would say Randall number 1, and then the Jim Johnson defense is number 2. I loved that era. I loved big cornerbacks, and I loved watching Bobby Taylor and Troy Vincent just smother guys. And I mean, you got to keep in mind too, a lot of it's part of the problem with this Eagles team in terms of the entertainment value is, they don't have a whole lot of epic matchups during the season, So back in the early Reed era, you had Michael Irvin, and, the Cowboys were kind of still a thing, and the Giants were winning Super Bowls during Andy's, late tenure. And just for the last couple of years, it's been the Eagles and nobody, Now that could change with Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. But I think that part of the and then you have even during Ray Rhodes' era when you had the James Willis, Troy Vincent touchdown return against the Cowboys, and you had he stopped them again. Those are kind of like the iconic moments.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's
the
been
Lions 59 to whatever it was, 59 to 6. Yeah.
And again, I'm not downgrading on the Eagles at all. If anything, it's a testament to them because they've been so dominant that you really kind of don't have you have the great thing about the Barkley moment was there was this iconic moment, where he jumps over this player and look, it was against the Jaguars and it didn't really matter, but it was just this oh my God, you're always going to remember that where maybe part of it's old age and just kind of the memories of youth, but I feel like I can name more iconic plays from previous iterations than I can from the regular seasons here.
My image is different. My image is less about iconic plays and just more about the sheer frustration of what they did to the greatest quarterback, outside of Tom Brady, right? The Coop return, that is my indelible image. Thank you, Andrew. So I see that, and I see that beast, and I just
I think we're talking about two different things too. I just don't think there's any question that the first Super Bowl that they lost was just such a better game. Part of the thing about the thing that made 2017 so great is that it was an incredible game that the Eagles also happened to win.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, you would much rather this year's Super Bowl was like a victory lap almost, where there wasn't a single moment in time where you thought the Eagles were going to lose it, and that dramatic tension is the thing I think that was missing. And again, it's great to, victory laps are awesome and winning is way better than losing, but just,
No, I hear you. No, you make a compelling argument. You know what it is too? When I'm grading this stuff and how I feel, I also grade the fact that the Eagles were a mock, forever. They were, even when they were good, the great defense, they couldn't have an offense. The great era of Andy Reid came up short every time. And now they're the best team in football. We've never seen that. We've never seen that. This franchise, which I remember getting picked on as a kid because I liked the Eagles in Philadelphia, right? How can you like that team stinks? Pigeons, all that stuff. And here they are, the greatest team in the NFL. I think the best team of this century. I'll take this Eagle team over anybody else in this century.
Well, yeah. Yes. I agree. I'm just talking about pure entertainment value. And really it comes down to, everyone's way biased towards who they watched growing up, which is just same reason why you'll talk to the old heads, who swear Wilt Chamberlain was the greatest player of all time.
Right.
Those of us who grew up with Jordan, we're like, nah, Jordan's the greatest player of all time. We grew up with LeBron, says, no, it's LeBron. Even though, from really probably each one is probably, the next one is always better than the last one because that's just how athletics work, But I'll always have Randall is one of the guys I'll have a soft spot on my heart for. Jim Johnson and those defenses. And Carson Wentz in 2017. I'm with you though. We've never seen anything like this Eagles team. And in fact, to get to your point, you're talking about being made fun of for liking the Eagles in Philadelphia. Try growing up in the Poconos, where I was surrounded by Giants fans and I didn't know anyone. And it's interesting because the thing people forget is that they weren't selling out the vet when I was a kid. I remember NBC 10 would buy tickets, just game on TV, And, again, Norman Braman was going out of business, and the guy would be a billionaire today if he kept the team, really the modern day. Don't get me wrong, this is the best fan base in the country, and you know, probably the best football town, and no other fan base cares the way this fan base cares. I'm not taking any of that away, but it's very much people forget how much that has leveled up since you know, the Buddy days, I think.
Hey, if we took Vermeil out of that, the Vermeil era, what would be your least entertaining era?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I still like, it's still seasons I feel like that jump out. Like, you remember that season when Jeff Kemp played a couple games at quarterback?
Yeah, Randall got hurt, McMahon got hurt, everybody got hurt. Yeah.
I would say the Rodney Pete era was among them. I'll be honest, I know you're a big Kevin Cobb guy, but you know, that whole interim, not a big Kevin Cobb guy, but you wrote a story on him at one point, I think, where you went down to Texas, right?
Yeah, I went fishing with him. I mean, I just did. I did it. I did it because it was a great opportunity to.
It was a great story. I just wasn't a Kevin Cobb guy. That the end of the Reed era to me was one of the most lackluster that I can remember.
Yes.
But look, I also believe in. I don't know that anyone I don't know that anybody can actually speak intelligently on anything they didn't witness firsthand. So I kind of cut myself off at the Buddy era because that was. You know, the first Eagles game I remember was the loss to the Rams. You know, we were living in Bristol Borough at the time, and I remember I was probably kindergarten, first grade, and I just remember John Madden saying the Eagles look like they didn't even get off the bus today.
Wow!
Oh man,
that's awesome.
That was my introduction, and then the next year it was, or maybe it was the same year. It was the throwing ice at Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, snowballs. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I think that's the big. If you want to like really talk about eras, the Cowboys being as Cowboys, you know, Cowboys being such a joke, has kind of. We could use a good Cowboys team, I think. You know.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. I agree with that.
Like, part of the reason why
you need a foil.
You know, yeah, and you know, part of the reason why Mamula stopping you know, Emmitt Smith on whatever it was, 4th and goal twice, you know, it's because the Cowboys were really good back then, you know, and it was like, you know, that was part of it. And you just don't get the same juice watching Ben DiNucci and Cooper Rush and you know, Jerry Jones' traveling carnival.
Yeah.
Well, while you've been here with us, the Phillies have DFA'd Carlos Hernandez and called up Michael Mercado.
Man, the end of an era.
So
he's one of those guys. I said this earlier this year. It seems like every year they fall in love with a guy who has no business being fallen in love with. You know, I'm thinking about like Junior Marte and you know, it's like Jose Ruiz, and you know, it's like every year it's like, we got this guy. He has, you know, the results aren't there, but we love his arm. We love his arm. And then at some point,
who was the kid from the Tigers who threw hard?
Soto.
Yeah, Soto.
Yeah. So he was that guy this year where it was just like, you know, even his flyouts go to the warning track. You know, at some point, it doesn't matter if a guy throws 99, you know, results are results.
All right, last thing. How do you feel about big picture Phillies and then dealing with Luzardo today after those two horrific starts?
Well, yeah, that's a great question because I didn't even think about the fact that he was pitching today. But it's going to be today. We're going to know a lot more today than you know, 3 or 4 hours from now. Look, I think it all comes down to Harper. I don't have any inside information on what they're anticipating, but you know, it certainly sounds to me like it's not, you know, going to be a 10-day thing, and I think, you know, anytime you're talking about the wrist, especially when it's been a lingering thing, you know, I don't know if it's the same arm that he had UCL surgery in, but is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so then, you know, but the wrist bone's connected to the elbow bone by the UCL, you know, so I think that, you know, I think that's a dark cloud, you know, and I think that, if I had to guess, that would be the biggest reason to kind of finally accept the fact that this team, may have to scratch and claw its way into the playoffs and isn't going to be the team that we thought they were going to be. But I think if Harper comes back here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that they're looking at it like, look, we can maintain this position. We're 10 games above 500. We're in the thick of it. We've got good starting pitching. Let's let Bryce Harper, in a perfect world, we keep winning without Bryce Harper, and he can take the whole rest of the season to try to get healthy. And we can always bring him back, and have him continue playing through pain if we absolutely need it. So I'm hoping that's kind of where it's at. But then like the worst case scenario is, the wrist it needs work, and this is just, let's see, and it ends in surgery. So I think that's the big question, and I think nobody has an answer to that. Probably not even the Phillies at this point.
Yeah, you're right. Well, my brother, what are you cooking? What do you got? What should we be reading? Looking forward to reading.
That's a great question. I'm starting to dive into the trade deadline a little bit. I've talked to some people looking to kind of the every year at this time, I sit down and I look at the crops of free agents over the next couple of years and who might be shaking loose and what teams might be selling. And, that's where I'm spending the bulk of my time right now. And the more that I do, the more that I'm thinking, the Phillies really shouldn't do anything right now. There's no magic bullet available. One late innings reliever probably isn't going to push this team over the top. If you can get them cheap, sure. But look, guys like Otto Kemp and some of the other guys they have down there. Yeah, exactly. I like the look of him so far. I know he hasn't really hit yet, but he sure looks like
he'll settle in. One name while you're here and you're talking about this, I was going to run this by you last night. What do you guys think about Eugenio Suarez? Put him at third. You move Bohm to first or Kemp at first.
That's a lot of great power at third.
Diamondbacks are going to be out of it. They don't have enough pitching to make a run. I think they're going to be sellers. He's on the
he's having a great year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just think we saw last year, and this offseason, the prices are just too high. The Phillies aren't at a point where they can justify spending any of the game. Justin Crawford, Aiden Miller, Andrew Painter, Arun Escobar, even Keaton Anthony, they're not at a point where they can afford to give up any of these guys. Because look, you do that, you give up Logan O'Hoppe for Brandon Marsh, and then 3 years later, you're like, oh man, JT Realmuto is looking old. It would be nice to have Logan O'Hoppe. So they just can't get on that treadmill.
Yeah.
And I think that the way the market is and the way the parity is and how many teams are kind of right around playoff contention. I think the prices are. Look at what the Padres gave up last year for some of those relievers. The Cubs are a great example of the dangers of the trade deadline. They traded Javier Baez as a rental for Pete Crow Armstrong, who's now
one of the most exciting
looks like
players.
a foundation. Yeah, he's a 40-40 guy who plays center field. Imagine imagine if the Mets hadn't done that. Imagine if they had him plugged in the center field right now. So you just can't. I think the good thing about what we see now in this team is that there's no illusions. I actually wrote that them losing 9 out of 10 might actually be a good thing because it doesn't allow you to continue asking yourself whether they might actually be a 100-win team, because they aren't. And I think that it's good because I think even the fan base understands it, and I don't think there's going to be any pressure on Dombrowski to do anything dumb. This might be one of those years where the best thing that can happen is play the kid. You'll never root for the bottom to fall out. As long as the Zardas are right, they can still win a World Series given the strength of their starting pitching. But the best thing for them to do might be get some guys up here and see what they can do and see if because that's what's going to take them to the next level. I just don't see, what they can do to this roster without spending obscene amounts of money that they clearly aren't ready to spend. I don't see what they can do other than hope that help comes from within.
Yeah, we agree. Brother, always the best. God bless the family. All right, we'll talk to you next week, pal.
All right, tell Zach Berman I said hi.
I will. Thanks, brother. Fantastic. Love David. He's terrific. Great writer. He's the best.
He is a really good writer.
All right, let's take care of some business, shall we? Talk to some of our friends.
Got Ashley Furniture. Because spring flowers, hours are blooming, and so are the low prices over at Ashley Furniture. So it's the perfect time to spring in some savings at Ashley. Right now, you can save up to 50% off living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, and have it all delivered totally free. Plus, you get some long-term, no-interest financing. You can save on top-brand mattresses, get free delivery set up, and the all-important removal. But don't wait. Spring into savings now at Ashley South Jersey and Philadelphia because this isn't going to last forever. Financing for this is with approved credit, of course. Minimum purchase is required, and some exclusions may apply, but see the store for complete details. So hurry over to an Ashley store in South Jersey or Philadelphia, and you can also visit ashleyfurniture.com for more information on updating the furniture in your beautiful house. ashleyfurniture.com.
All right, let's talk a little bit about, that's right, the Parks Casino, Street Road, Bend, Salem. It doesn't get any better than Parks Casino and all the great acts we talk about all the time. The fabulous acts, all the musical, the comedians
is coming.
Are you a comedian guy? Because they have great comedians there.
Here's the deal. I am a comedian guy at like a Helium and stuff. Like I tried to see John Mulaney tickets at the Met. It's $380 for like a really nice seat. But for a comedian, like
John Mulaney, he's like one of the top comedians.
It's a comedian. It's one guy. 350,
Yeah,
380
like,
bucks.
you know,
it's not a whole band where
right,
they're split up by 8 people.
Eh,
Like it's a dude standing there with a microphone.
yeah.
So
mean, that is
I am a
expensive.
comedian fan.
John Mulaney is one of the, you know what's terrible? I don't know who he is.
You should watch. He's got a live show on Netflix every Wednesday. It'll drive you crazy. You'll hate it.
Really?
Yeah, but I think you should check it out.
Dude, I'm so
He's
out
funny.
on the comic that I just don't have the gene. I don't know why. But you mentioned, like, you know all those dudes. I don't know. Like you mentioned John Mulaney. I go, I don't know who John Mulaney. I don't know who he
he's
is.
the biggest of the big.
I know.
Yeah.
That shows you the lyric. Like it's a stage of life, right? Like the fact that I have no concept who he is will tell you how.
You know who Olivia Munn is?
Yes.
That's his wife.
Okay. I
Right?
thought she was David Rogers.
Yeah,
No.
she used to.
Or maybe yes.
I
He
think they have a
got
kid.
divorced to
Does
somebody.
he have a show? TV
He
show?
had a
Yeah,
show.
he's got a live show. It's
No,
live
does he have a TV show?
on Netflix. It's like a live talk show every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just being real.
You know Dave Chappelle?
I love Dave Chappelle. But
You know Bill Burr?
yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
Bill
the
Burr,
podcast is
great.
like, you know,
All right.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, but Mulaney just took off, right? Over the last 6 months.
He's
No,
been off
he's
and on
been
for a while because he's
for a
dealt with
couple
some,
years now,
some
yeah.
addiction issues. But
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan unless you're great. Like Chappelle, I can watch Chappelle all day
Oh,
long.
he's GOAT, yeah.
like Taylor Tomlinson's coming to the Met. Tickets are expensive.
Right. Like
She's
I don't
funny.
I don't know who she
Shane
is.
Gillis. I love Shane
Yeah.
Well,
Gillis.
I mean, he's a
He's
goat
one of
type
us.
of our people. Like he's great. Like, you know, everybody loves that Sebastian Maniscalco in my
Oh, you don't like
world.
him?
I mean, he's all right.
He's the
They-
Italiano comedian.
Yeah.
They love him.
I mean, you know, it's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't go wacky over it.
What do you mean you don't like Sebastian?
Right. Like I'm not like, give me a story.
Right.
I want a story. I don't like the jester.
Yeah. I
You know what I mean? But that's just my own personal taste. Like I'm an alien with that stuff.
Yeah.
EEN in the chat is completely right. Cuz would find nothing funny about John Mulaney.
Probably not, no.
Yeah,
you would hate him.
I mean, I got sports, and then I like movies and TV, like dramas. That's it. I'm a simple person.
What about like a sports comedy? Would you be into
No,
that?
no, unless it's done so well, like
Like
what?
Arliss.
No, Come on, it's coming back.
The soccer one.
Yes.
Oh, like
Apple.
Ted Lasso.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean but that show is more of a dramedy.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And that show is done so perfectly. Mm-hmm. It's a great show. I can't wait for it to come back.
Fuss wants to know if you like Andrew Dice Clay.
No. No. I mean, back in the day, hickory dickory dock.
Yeah.
Like, how stupid is that?
It's like Gallagher.
Oh, so I'm standing at the line in the bank. I got my thumb.
He is hysterical on TikTok.
I'm sure he is. I love her. She's from South Philly. His ex-wife.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I don't know who it is.
She's the greatest. Kerrigan. I love her.
Oh, all right.
She's funny.
Him and John Lovitz are funny together on TikTok. They're gonna end up doing a buddy movie together because they're hysterical together.
Yeah, I get. He's way over. I can't do it. I hate that stuff. First of all, that cliche stuff. Anyway, all right. I'm trying to tell you about the great comedians though that are out there at Parks.
All the
Casino.
good ones are at Parks Casino.
That's right. You want to get incredible comedians at the Parks Casino. All right, Kansas is playing there.
Yeah. Carry on my wayward son.
You didn't follow it up.
There'll be peace when you are done. Lay my weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.
All right.
That's my favorite part, the guitars.
You like, that's it. That's why you're the man. Don't forget dinner and drinks before the show. You got tickets on sale for Gary Clark Jr., July 3rd.
Here come old flat top, he come.
Moving up slowly.
You got UB40, September 6th.
Red wine.
You got Australian Pink Floyd, September 20th.
So you think you can tell.
And you got the great Bill Murray, November 15th, and his Blood Brothers, A Night of Blues and Old Time Rock and Roll.
The Bill Murray.
Don't forget dinner and drinks before the show. Libertyville Gastropub and Beer Garden, Parks Grill Steakhouse, Bamboo Noodle House, Chickies and Pete's, ParksCasino.com to buy tickets for all shows. Parks Casino, this is how you win. You got to be 21. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, now it's minicamp time. And joining us from the All PHLY Bird Show, nobody's deeper. Nobody does it better. Zachariah! Z-Berm.
Hey, good morning. Good talking to you guys.
What is that?
What's up, Z-Berm?
Good seeing you guys.
All right.
Minicamp's over. School's out for the summer.
All right, before we get into it, all right, I got a thing for you.
Yeah.
The top entertaining Eagles eras.
Okay.
Vermeil, Buddy, Andy, Doug, Chip, today.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to say today because they've made 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, right? So this is a team that in the first 52 years of the Super Bowl, they made it 3 times. Or I'm sorry, 3 times in the first 52 years of the Super Bowl. They made it twice in the past 3 years. So
we're not talking success. We're talking entertainment value. Entertainment value.
Yeah, I mean, I think winning's entertaining.
Watching that Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, meaningful late. Look, if you really want to get into this debate, year 1 of Chip was extraordinarily entertaining. Like that first year,
that was pretty.
It looked like they were revolutionizing football. Mm-hmm. But no, in terms of what's truly entertaining is meaningful late season football games. That Eagles Rams game, that's entertaining.
In the snow.
In the snow, yeah. So
Jesus, my ear.
Yeah, I love, like, there's nothing I enjoy more than a big game, right? That when it's you kind of feel it before the game. There's that buzz, there's that energy. The city all week.
Yes.
You go to Wawa, everyone's talking about the game, and that's what these past few years have been in Philly.
That's why I listen to him, right? Spot on.
He doesn't remember the Buddy years. He doesn't remember the Buddy years.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
He remembers everything.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm 39 years old, so I look. I got to imagine when you're watching Randall Cunningham week in, week out, and there's no one like at that time, no one like him.
He's another one. He gives offense.
Yeah. So that's got to jump out. But I once did an oral history on that 91 Eagles defense that was number 1 across the board, and the stories those guys had were awesome. But then I heard it was great hearing Murphy on before David Murphy, and that was the year when they were starting like 6 or 7 different quarterbacks because everyone was getting knocked out. So you give me an MVP candidate quarterback and a team that makes the Super Bowl 2 out of 3 years. That's entertaining.
All right. Thank you, Zach. Thank you. Because you and I win.
That's just my view. Reasonable minds can disagree. That's just my view.
What's number 2 for you? Vermeil, Buddy, Doug, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, I would say Andy, those early 2000s.
Eagles your kid? It's ridiculous.
I know who the boss is, VG, right?
he knows that.
I know. You guys are football guys.
All right. So what's the story as school lets out for the summer, at least for summer break before we get back in late July? What's the storyline today? What'd you learn from minicamp?
Yeah, so it was my first time seeing Devontae this summer, right? Or the spring rather. And the play of the day was Devontae down the left sideline, deep ball, 7-on-7. Now, he beat Smile Mondin Jr., so a backup linebacker, which should happen. You don't want Smile Mondin Jr. on Devontae in a game. But it was good seeing that connection. It was good catching up with Devontae. I'm eager to see what Devontae has in store for this year. I think big picture that it was a very no frills spring, right? They didn't really practice that much to begin with. They have a number of guys coming back from injuries. There were no big controversies or anything. Once they traded Huff and brought back Goddard, there was no lingering discontent around the team. And I think the big story going into camp is going to be trying to sustain this success, right? What can you do to avoid that letdown after such a magical season?
Yeah, I'm with you. It's all about how you refocus yourself, recalibrate yourself to go, all right, we're going to do this again. We're going to follow this up and go do it again. I feel like they have a great, kind of mindset. VG played this thing earlier about Nick using Zach Ball into all the one-year guys, which I loved. I think that's great coaching. That's exactly what coaching is.
Yeah, you're right. And this is something Nick's done time and time again. He once shared Darius Slay's story to the whole team. He once shared Brandon Graham's story to the whole team. And the Zach Bond example is terrific. And Zach Bond spoke about how players have around the league, like career special teams guys, have reached out to him as inspiration. And Nick was using Zach Bond. The Eagles have a lot of one-year players. Josh Uche is an example. And when I say one-year players on one-year contracts. Josh Uche, Azeez Ojulari, Adoree Jackson, Harrison Bryant, A.J. Dillon. You go on down the list. I mean, this is what they did this offseason. And for some of these players, they can be out of the league in a year. And for some of these guys, they can do what Zach Bond did, which was completely change his career. And now Zach Bond's one of the premier players in the league. And Zach Bond says, that's the thing about this organization is you're going to get a fair shot. So we'll see how some of these guys go. It was interesting talking to Lane Johnson. He said Josh Uche has really stood out as an edge rusher. I caught up with Andy Reid back during the league meetings, and Andy said they really didn't, and you will know this better than me, Anthony, from knowing Spags the way you do, but they really didn't get to have their hands on Josh Uche in terms of he came in midseason in a trade. At that point, it was an odd scheme fit. They really couldn't kind of maximize him. And so I think there's a lot of curiosity in the building. This is a player who was a double-digit sack player with the Patriots 3 years ago. Can he get back to that form and kind of be a potential factor as an edge rusher?
That's exactly it. And that you're right. He did not get a chance to get his hands on him. And I'm with you. In fact, I'm looking. I don't know if we talked on the phone about him. Spags got a double hit replacement, by the way.
Whoa.
Yeah. Here's what he says about him. I like the kid. He loves ball. It was hard to him to fit into our multiple system in the middle of the season.
Yep.
Too much to learn, all right? And he'll be a better fit in Philly. Vic does not use multiple. He's not as multiple.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly, that's great hearing that from Spags, because that's kind of what Andy said, and that's
if you want to use it for the story.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, and like from a scheme perspective, that's it as well, is that he fits better with the Eagles than the way the Chiefs were using him.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other news? Well, we're in overtime, by the way.
Yeah.
OT.
Yeah. So
OT. OT. All right, give me the hockey horn. Oh, some hockey. All right.
Yeah. So there are a number of things that the audience. We have notes right now up on allphly.com. Bo and I did a show last night.
I love your notebooks. I love your
notebooks.
notebooks.
Yeah. So a few different things. Like Keely Ringo played right cornerback yesterday, and I think that stands out because they've been moving. They've been switching sides for Quinyon Mitchell, trying to get to see where he fits best. Last year they didn't move sides. Now I wonder if they're going to travel Quinyon more this year. But Keely and Adore have been alternating with the first team. I think Keely's look sharp this spring. I'm curious to see what he looks like this season. I'm expecting him to be the starter. The physical tools are there. The opportunity's present. Something else, Jalix Hunt, I thought just looked really active at practice yesterday. I try to temper evaluations of guys on the line of scrimmage during OTAs because there's no pass, it's not hitting. But you can see the motor. Like there was one play where he was chasing down Jalen Hurts, and Lane Johnson actually got in the way because like Jalix was just running him down. Jalix did not stop the play. Jalix has been the top edge rusher this summer because Nolan Smith hasn't been practicing in team drills. There hasn't been rotation at right guard at all. I asked Nick Sirianni about this. Nick said they're going to wait for the pads for that position. But this is the thing. Last year, even when Mekhi Becton, when they were experimenting with him at guard, you saw him mix in at the top of the depth chart. That hasn't been the case with Kenyon Green this spring. So we'll see what it's like this summer. But I would say at this point, Tyler Steen would be the front runner for that job. Sidney Brown was the first one up at safety. It was interesting to see Drew Makuba at he played some dime corner yesterday, so in the slot and dime, and I think they'll try to find different roles for him. Jihad Campbell had a helmet on during individual drills, so he's progressing. But you got to wait till August to see Campbell. But they had all 90 guys in the building. There are no issues here. I think the big thing when they come back is to monitor the health of guys like Cam Jurgens, Nolan Smith, Jihad Campbell. They have key players returning from big injuries.
Hey, one of the things I read, you did a great roundup of your observations on all PHLY. You had Q going to both sides of the field. Do you think we might see him just line up against like one particular receiver, no matter where that receiver goes this season?
Yeah, it's a good question because Vic's other fans just said he's done that in the past at times. It's really dependent on the situation. Last year, they wanted to stick Slay on one side and Q on the other side. And I think that they might have more flexibility with that this year. The fact that they're moving them around this summer shows me that they're at least experimenting with it. And there's two schools of thoughts. You're doing it to see what side Mitchell's the best at, but you also might be doing it because, like you said, you want Mitchell to travel with a wide receiver. So when they're playing against a team that has a clear number one and that guy doesn't go inside to the slot, maybe you want Q following him to the left side and the right side.
You also had a little observation that you'll like. Kyle McCord looking better than DTR.
Yeah, that's definitely been the case, and I'll say DTR might be the type of player who he's better when he can play off script and improvise a little bit more. But in the controlled setting in camp, Kyle McCord's been clearly better. Kyle McCord had a terrific throw in the red zone period yesterday, fit a tight window throw to Nick Muse, the tight end, down the depth chart tight end, but like the ball could only be in one spot. It's the type of throw too. I happen to watch a good amount of Syracuse football, and the one thing that jumps out is Kyle McCord is not afraid to put the ball in tight windows, and that's exactly what that throw was.
Dude, it's why we both liked him coming out of college, because whatever it is, he could throw it. He could spin that thing. I mean, DTR, come on. We knew he's not long for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. God bless him. He was a great college player. He just can't throw the ball.
Yeah. McCord, the ball comes out of McCord's hands better.
Yeah. Yeah. He just knows how to sling it, the kid. That's why I think this is a great spot for him, where he just sits and learns and soaks it in, and there's no rush. And then you see what happens. You see how he progresses. I'm with you. I'm pumped up, man. So what's the what have you learned about the summer plans?
Yeah, so I've talked to a lot of guys in that building who they want to get away, right? I mean they've kind of made that clear. They're trying to get away, and so that's kind of I think barring any off the field issues, it's going to be pretty quiet around the Eagles during these next 5.5 weeks. They report to training camp on the 22nd. I imagine first practice will be on the 23rd, and then they go straight through maybe until February.
Yeah, baby.
Nice
we have Cooper in today. Cooper and Reed are in the building today to do their podcast. So we look forward to seeing those guys.
It's nice you guys dress alike. How about sending me the memo next time? Going all black plain shirts. I don't get the memo.
You got a black shirt on?
It was not all plain.
Yeah.
You can't wear the black shirt like we wear the black shirt.
Nah, probably not.
Look,
Hey, Zach, you got a lot of. Someone's telling me I got to ask you, man. You got a lot of Peloton planned this summer?
Oh no, I probably need to. No, I've been doing F45, trying to get there twice a week. I'll get there more during these next few weeks. But I gotta say, on the topic of fashion, VG, I've been getting emails left and right with you as the model in those shy. Every email I open is VG.
Cool.
The rent's high. I gotta see some extra gigs, man.
He's all right. The bike chain is cool, man. Listen, say whatever you want about him, and I will. My man's cool.
Do me a favor.
Cool factor.
If you get an email and there's any merch I'm wearing it, go buy the merch. So they hire me for some more pictures. So I guess pay some more bills.
Absolutely.
Zachariah, we'll talk soon. I'll be bugging you, so we got to have our summer project going, all right?
You got it. I love coming on. Anytime.
Thanks, buddy.
Anytime. Talk to you guys.
Zachariah Lieber. Him and Bo. Fantastic.
They're a great team. They're great together. Their chemistry's funny.
No, you got good cool factor.
Thanks, man. Here's my litmus test. When I walk out the door most mornings, I say, would 17-year-old VG be proud of the way I'm dressed at this point?
Yes.
Man, if I'm cool, I walk out the door.
I do the same thing.
Nah, no way. 15-year-old Andrew's cool with you with those socks.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
15-year-old Andrew would be proud.
Say, would 15-year-old VG be proud of the way you're walking? I'm like, no.
17-year-old Anthony would beat up 17-year-old Andrew.
We do not condone bullying.
That's why I said 17-year-old.
Yeah.
17-year-old Andrew. He's jerk off. I love you, man. That's my boy. He's the best. All right, lots to get to throughout PHLY. So make sure you check out all of our shows. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. Subscribe. It's how we can do all this content.
Pound the like button.
We need subscriptions. We need subscribe. It's free. Subscribe. And yes, like. All right, you got to do it. It's just part of this algorithm. We're a slave to the algorithm.
We are a slave to the algorithm.
We are. It's the truth.
Yeah, it is the truth.
It's one thing. We're hyper local. So what happens in the algorithm, all right, you need the likes to combat the fact that people who are in Chicago aren't necessarily looking to watch Philadelphia sports, right?
Yeah.
So that impacts the algorithm and how it sends it to people. So we need all Philadelphia people to do it. So do it. Part of our deal here. Have a great day. We love you. We have a back of the day?
Got a quick one if you want to hit it.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
With 8 minutes remaining, the game seemed about to turn. Moses Malone was called for his 5th foul. And even Moses' son knew the Lakers had the...
That was a good one. I like Earl. National Junior Earl Day.
That was the Earl one, yeah. We got one. 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Who's your big soccer pick today, Andrew? Yesterday you had the Dutch, and the Dutch put up an 8 spot.
Oh, man. I loved it. 4 guys on that team, they play for Liverpool. It was
Don't
a big
even
win.
try. I got first dibs on the Dutch as the ambassador if they come here.
You are the ambassador. You are the ambassador.
I will say next week is a big week starting for soccer because the FIFA Club World Cup starts Monday, and it's like every day there's a game for like a month.
Nice.
So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Now, we still have we have World Cup qualifiers today?
I believe they're over. Yesterday was the last day.
Oh, yesterday was the last day?
Yes.
Yeah, I tried to find something to bet. That's why I went the UEFA under 21.
Next round would be in September.
Oh, next round September.
Yep.
Oh wow. What about the Copa?
That was also done.
Yeah,
I thought
I saw some Copa bets.
Because didn't the U.S. national team lost?
Yeah.
Did they lose to who?
They lost to Sweden.
Yeah. So what happens? Like, are they still going to make it? They got to.
They will be. No, they will be because they're the host. So since you're the host country, you are always in. But like going into it, I don't see them.
Like, what's the deal? Like, Italy had a horrible. I guess they won the other night.
They still have a chance. They play.
Like you got to wait till September to play.
So they play in September. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. I would think the tournament. That's so interesting. The rules, like they take so much time between these matches.
They got a break now because of the Club World Cup. So they got to allow players to go back to their club.
So this is the under 21.
So there's under 21 games that are going on
today.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that he was talking about, Romania.
But the Club World Cup starts Monday. That's our big deal because
it's huge.
We're going to have it here.
Yeah.
We have matches here. In fact, tomorrow we'll have our Philadelphia World Cup ambassador come in.
I'm going to one of them. I'm going to the Real Madrid Salzburg FC match on the 26th.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's going to be insane.
Yeah, that's cool. Have you handicapped this stuff? Like, you know who the players are? The Club World Cup?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
That's cool.
All right, I got the back in the day.
All right, let's do it. Man time. Good man time. T-Mac. All right, 11-11. Let the Angels ring. All right, that's our number, the 11-11. Have a great day, everybody. We love you. Be careful. We'll see you in the morning.
We all silly like the mayor.